Don People's Deadbolt. Let's talk about it. And yeah, let's get into it. So, I sat down and I watched Lil Wayne's interview that he did in reference to mental health in Black America and how it's affecting the youth and people today. Um, First off, we definitely recognize that mental health is a serious situation that plagues us, especially in our community, because of all the trauma that we experience. Living on the frequency that we live on, seeing poverty, pain, killings, drug dealings, extortion, everything, you name it. It comes with mental health issues. So I think a lot of kids who live in urban communities and places of high crime experience mental health issues. But looking at this situation with Lil Wayne, I felt like this situation was a lot deeper. Now we understand that Lil Wayne comes from under Birdman's tutelage and, watching and, we can't forget the history. How he raised Lil Wayne coming up throughout the game and turned Lil Wayne to what he is now. But we can't forget the kissing. We can't forget a lot of the things that we witnessed them do and things that Lil Wayne did. Lil Wayne took us on a journey. I mean, his whole life, if you look at it, was a journey of what not to do. When you see Lil Wayne, you see somebody who's dealing with a lot of demons. So I think that him coming out in reference to this mental health issue, talking about, the time when he shot himself at 12 years old. And, we never knew the real story, I guess, behind why he shot himself. Now, he claims that obviously it was because of, his mental health issues and what he was going through and what he was experiencing that time. And, it was a situation to where, he had skipped school and, his aunt finds out and his mom finds out, his aunt get on the phone, tell him, hey, your mother's coming home to handle that business. You know how we used to get them whoopings back in the day. They used to come home handling that business. But Lil Wayne, obviously with that and a lot of other things, decided like, hell, I might as well take my life. It's that serious. I got to take my own life. You feel me? So for what he says, he put the gun to his head. Then after putting the gun to his head, he said, nah, let me go ahead. I don't want to do that. So he puts it to his chest and he shoots himself. I mean, that's a tragic story. But I really think it's just because of what Lil Wayne has went through. And the journey, like I said, he took a lot of us on. Now, I'm a little bit older, so I really wasn't caught all the way in the influence of Lil Wayne. Obviously, he was a big part of my hip-hop culture coming up. But the youth, the influence that he's had over the culture and what he's created is undeniable. Lil Wayne put a spirit of rebellion in hip-hop and, quite frankly, Satanism in hip-hop that never was there really before. I mean, Lil Wayne really came and kidnapped the children and, made it cool to be a drug user and not a dealer. Neither one of them are good, but, he made it cool to be the user. He also made it cool, to gangbang. I know Jim Jones has a lot to do with it too, but Lil Wayne really, for me, was the ones that really put the gangs on the map, especially for the youth at that time. I think Snoop had a lot to do with the early 90s, but Lil Wayne, for sure, had everything to do with banging in the 2000s. You feel me? So what Wayne was able to bring into the game, they was able to use Wayne for so many different things. And we just being naive and being fans of the music and thinking that it's art when really he's bringing in the demons and the ghouls and everything else and the witchery and all the witchery that comes from what's he's spitting out of his mouth. Um, there's a lot of souls on his head, man. And I think a lot of us don't understand that because we really ain't sent people down a path. I mean, like, how many people have you really influenced? Maybe besides your children and a few other people, if that. This man influenced millions. And when you see pictures like this, you see where Wayne was at and what he was sanctioned to do. And I think now what he's doing is he's living with those guilts, not receiving really the proper roses for this wicked industry that he so deserves. Because that's really what he deserves. He deserves his roses. Because everything that you see now is a straight reflection of him and for what he has brought to this industry. And a lot of the things that we see, we really don't really put it in context, we see all the tattoos and things of that nature and just think, oh yeah, it's art, when really it's pain. It's suffering. It's a lot that's going on that we don't see behind the scenes. And, Wayne has already submitted himself as, one of the ghosts of hip hop. But, it's a lot of pain that my brother is going through. But like so many of us, man, we're so influenced. We're so easily tricked out of our square, especially with all the fame and money that, this man was able to receive and garner throughout his career. I mean, to have that 10-year run, because that's what he had. He had a solid decade of influence. So, it's kind of hard not to, feel not, it's kind of hard not to bash though. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're awake and you look back on the history of Lil Wayne, it's kind of hard not to, say, well, man, you get everything that you deserve. Because when you look at him now, it's like he a shell of himself. I mean, he's not, all the tattoos, the drug use, and the emptiness has sucked him dry. When you look at Lil Wayne now, this is what you see. I mean, you see a man that's half himself. So yes, we need to blame it on mental health because mental health is what has caused, and what he's basically saying is this is what caused me to mislead a whole generation of hip hop. Is my mental health was never right. I was took from a young age by a man who obviously did some things to me, to keep me in line, to keep me in pocket. And maybe one day, man, Wayne will really be able to sit down and tell his truths. But, right now, I don't think it's the time for that. But you can tell that this man has suffered through a lot. And when people see him now, I don't know if they want to praise him or do they feel sorry for him in a sense, because I know a lot of you rappers, especially you young rappers who get all the face tattoos, who do all this based on your ancestry, with Lil Wayne. This is what you're going to be destined for. Because this man was on top of the world, hundreds of millions of dollars, the number one artist in the world at one point in time. It didn't matter what genre. A lot of you will never reach the heights that this man has risen to. And what he did was he introduced the demons in hip hop. And when he got that in, now you see a decade later what is transpired into. This is where you get all the, the little Uzis, the thugs, everybody that's involved in this now. They all they're like offsprings, So they obviously they need to pay homage to this man, for better or worse. But as you can see, man, Wayne is just a shell of himself. And I advise nobody to want to go down this road. And if you have mental health problems, you want to go get help. Don't sit back and let, somebody from your hood mislead you to keep doing wrong. Because remember, man, the devil give blessings too. You feel me? So he got his reward, and now, he has to sit and he has to age. And it's like, what do you think he feels when he looks at himself in the mirror at the end of the day? It's real crazy. But I want y'all to get in the comment box, man, and let me know what y'all think about the whole mental health situation. Do you think that's an excuse for Lil Wayne to have sold a whole generation of hip hop? Do you give him a pass for that because of the mental health? Or do you feel like Wayne is just a product of his environment, pretty much? And, mental health is something more of a cop-out, should we say, at this point in the game. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. We building up the channel. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications so y'all can get all the videos and tap in every time I drop. It's your boy Don Peoples. Deadbolt. Gone.